Welcome to the Vale, a rare bastion of civilization in a world recuperating after a terrible, centuries-long war. Though the battles ended 200 years ago, the land still recovers from this period of tumultuous strife and slavery. Join now the defenders of the Vale as they navigate a world riddled with opportunity and tragedy, all the while seeking glory, gold, and adventure.
Okay, Fernelius has moved down to the other thing. He rolled a 20 for investigation. In this one, you see it's a very dark and macabre painting. Of all the ones there, it's probably the worst ones. You see the puppet strings are back, but they're not. You don't see the body of Orcus, and the puppet strings are digging up the bones of giants and dragons from almost it's like a very dark color. There's not bright colors in this one. It's very dark, and it looks like they're bones being. Hold up. Basil the Lesser moves to catch up to Nerdelius.
Yeah. My friend Nerdelius.
All right, Fernelius. So he calls you Nerdelius, and I like it. Jeez. So these puppet strings are pulling these bones out of the ground, and so you see like undead dragons and undead giants kind of forming and being pulled out of the ground together. And in the background, it's almost like there's a flash of lightning, and you see the shadow of a five-headed dragon far in the background, and the shadow of just a group of very big giants in the background as well.
That sounds like a bad time.
It's fine. It's fine. You guys will be fine. Everything's fine. It's just going to be the next mirror. The next room with mirrors is going to summon five-headed dragons and giants instead of the bolts, because you guys are jerks.
Easy peasy. Next time we see a mirror, we're just going to turn around. Nah.
He's going to start turning the mirror.
All right,
No,
preemptive strike
walk
on
away.
mirrors.
See you later, mirrors.
We go back.
Is still trying to figure out who tripped the trap.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I
not
wonder
aware
who-
that it was him, is he?
It doesn't sound like something Finn would do.
Okay, so are you guys doing anything?
I am his father now.
You are a dragonborn son.
You are my son. Don't know how, but I have adopted you.
We change your name later.
It's okay. It will be Gryfell. It's going to be a weird name for a while, but you get used to it.
Oh, that's right. There was a bet. What was the details of the bet?
Oh, there was a bet. Gry and I had a bet. Oh, it was Big
You
Monster.
bet that there was a big bad in here, which there
Hell
wasn't.
yeah. No, there
So you
technically
owe-
was.
There technically wasn't. It was in the room behind you when you bet. You owe your new son a platinum.
Big Monster has come into room. It is dead in room. There is Big Monster in room.
Gry looks at you and goes, in this accent, and goes, "You did not say big monster or you said big monster in room, not come to room in future."
Oh, son, I love you so much. Here, take 2 platinum. I love you so much.
All right. So Cornelius will give him the platinum.
Brissinger is consumed with overwhelming affection for tiny human child.
Tall. He's a 5'9" at 15.
I'm 7'3".
Yeah, he might catch up eventually. He's 15. He could be Shaquille O'Creepy Boy.
You
Alright.
call him Shack because he lives in a shack.
Heyo.
So Gry, ever since the passionate hug, and besides the little side bet thing, Gry's been doing weird things to a couple of the kobold bodies. If anybody wants to make an Arcana check, they can. And just so you know, Basil, I didn't say anybody who casts spells, so you can make one too if you'd like.
Ramsham rolled a 12. Everybody rolled a 12.
Yes. Wow.
Yep.
You guys have no idea what's going on, except for Roland, who realized, and Basil, who finally gets to jump in on this Arcana stuff. Basil and Roland realize that there are about to be kobold zombies.
Be what?
Kobolds, but zombies.
Roland is both impressed and sickened at the same time.
Basil is known for.
So you see 2 kobold zombies. They kind of come up and stand, and Gry's standing near them and looks very angry. He goes, "Tim and Tom are gone, but these 2 assholes can help us chase down these people."
Good job, Gry. I am very impressed with you. Again, I'm very sorry about the loss of Tim and Tom.
It's okay. They've been dead for a while. That really wasn't them. That was just some husk.
Do these 2 kobolds have names?
There's no need.
Understandable. I almost
So-
said understandable. Have a nice day. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Oh, he then turns and walks away weirdly, not wanting to break the customer service rituals. Yeah, they're Tom Murderer and Tim Murderer. That's the names.
Yeah, I think it suits them.
All right. Are you guys gonna do anything else in these caves?
Robbie John's
Oh.
gonna make a mental note to do a little service for Tim and Tom when we get back to the humble beginnings.
Can
Okay,
I just
so you-
like?
Do we want to
Oh,
drag
okay.
this Cyclops? So I know Rin is interested in the Cyclops head. So do we want to try dragging this thing out of here, or what should we do with it?
Well, maybe
What would you guys
not
like to do?
right now, but somehow I think this would make like a great trophy for the humble beginning.
Actually, Rin, I don't think this would make an appropriate trophy. Something about the fact that the presence of giants in this land would probably make the people in the town very, very unsettled.
Yeah. So what?
So it is the towns that we protect and our people.
Yeah, and we are showing them that we're good at protecting them. Also, people coming down to humble beginning would see right away that we are not to be mess up. Well, we are not to be.
Be that as it may, I mean, we could easily put the head of anything else we killed here, but the second we take a giant head, and not just giant in the fact that this is a very large head, but the head of a giant, that's going to make people very afraid.
I
And-
say we burn it.
You want to burn it? Oh, come on!
Kill
Why
it
don't
with
you just
fire.
put the iron?
No,
Can I
that's
at least
probably the
have a
best
cobalt
bet.
end?
As the resident kill it with fire expert, I second the kill it with fire.
I think it's already. I think we've
Yes,
done the
it's
kill.
already-
Now, Basil, no need to argue with him.
Yes, of course. But Rin, why don't you just pop out its eye, maybe grab a jar? That's a souvenir, right?
Basil, you are my kind of souvenir
Okay.
keeper. It will go great. It will go great in this tavern.
All right. So what do you,
Fenilius-
before we go too far, what are you doing, Fenilius?
Fenilius says, yeah, I came in a little late. I've only been here for these 2 rooms here. Have you done everything that, have we done everything that needs to be done here?
Gry says, yeah, we've been in every room. I think we've cleared this whole area.
And we've done all the searching that we need to do.
Yep. I think at this point in time we just have to report back to what we found in the house to finish the quest.
We could always. do a
Fenilius
nice
starts
check to
leaving
see-
then.
Oh, okay.
All right, no giant head for today.
Oh wait, if
Done.
Fenilius is leaving, I want to go catch up to him.
So, Rin, if you want a souvenir from this monstrosity, I suggest you take it now before Brissinger properly disposes of its remains.
I cut off one finger of the beast.
You guys are heading back to town, right?
Once
Yeah.
the body is disposed of, yes.
Okay. It's gonna take a
But-
while to dispose of the bodies.
Before we properly set off, could I grab Finn and just pull him aside for a second?
Sure.
Sure.
Hey, Finn, I just wanted to, sort of put something out there. I couldn't help but notice that when we were dealing with the, Kobold Legion, that, you cast a spell and poor Gry got hurt. If you're ever feeling threatened like that again, don't hesitate to ask for my help. I'm here to make sure that all guild business goes smoothly, and I wouldn't want anyone to feel thrown under the bus like that again.
That makes sense. And if after I did that, I realized that I probably could have done it a little differently. Heat of the moment and all. I will try to be more careful.
Of course, hindsight is 2020. Just putting out there that if you need help, don't be afraid to ask.
So you guys heading back? You guys heading back to the humble beginnings then?
Yeah, giant's finger in tow. Wait,
Anybody
not the
object to
toe,
that?
Just the finger.
Robbie John does not object leaving the creepy, stupid cave.
I
Okay.
will just suggest we could do one final sweep for secret doors and stuff, but that's up to the group. Basil will just sort of put it out there, but not be too bothered either way.
Robbie John's gonna squinty eye look at him like STFU.
What did Bash? Did you say something there?
I said that Basha was gonna stay and do a sweep.
All right. Everybody that wants to stay and do a sweep, give me a quick investigation check. We're gonna make it easy.
Okay.
Briss is just gonna kind of stand by Gry and make sure he's still doing okay. As my
Okay,
He's
so
like-
number
adopted
21.
son.
He's organizing kobold bodies right now. He's working on making the mess easier to clean up. You guys with your 21, 11, 18 investigation, you guys don't find anything. There's no secret doors here.
Alright, cool.
Rolling
You've
just over
discovered
to-
all of them. Yeah, you've discovered all of the magical stuff.
The Tiamat chamber.
The Tiamat chamber. All right,
Roland
You
just
guys-
oversees the burning of the body.
you're gonna burn the giant body in the cave right here.
In the
Yeah, I
least
don't
they're
see why not.
unsatisfied.
Am I helping with that?
Sure.
Oh,
The
you're-
bodies
you're
are
like
all
100%
burned. It's
doing
fine.
it.
They're done.
This is basically a union job. You're doing all the work, and I'm just watching.
All right,
But do
so you
I get
guys-
paid?
Nope. You guys have burned all
Nope.
the bodies. They're gone. You now have no more reason to stay in this room. Please move forward.
Hey guys, let's just start a new life in here. Fuck it.
Yeah, Robbie John's fine with this room of the cave.
Yeah, it's totally
Okay.
fine. Let's
Yeah,
just
we
stay.
got rid of all the shit, so we can just stay in.
All right, great. So it's been 40 or 50 years, and you guys have grown and had a great life, sending zombies out for supplies as you need them.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys doing anything else in the cave?
The adoption
Andrew?
papers went through.
That's right.
No, I don't.
Already
I don't
taken
think so.
All right, so you guys are going to turn the quest in. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got to talk
Okay.
to Kane, don't we? About.
You do got to talk to Kane, who's probably still in the Humble Beginnings bar that I've been trying to get you to for the last 25
You
minutes.
better be.
Wait, the DM's trying to push us in a certain direction, huh?
I didn't get that.
We
feeling.
stay in this cave forever.
Oh God, Kane can come to us.
I don't think
Become the cave guild.
you want to do that. Well, the Cave Guild idea I like.
Cave Guild.
Okay, so you guys burn the big body, head back to the Humble Beginnings where all of Nina and her friends are drinking and having a gay old time. Is that the Flintstones from the theme song? Yeah. And
Yes.
they're just getting slammered. And you walk in, Ren with his Cyclops finger, and before you burn the body, Gry takes the eye and puts it in a jar because he liked that idea.
Yeah.
It's got to be like that big, the finger.
Yeah.
Thanks
good
for
because-
clarifying.
The fish was this big.
So, when you walk in, Kane looks up and goes, "Hey guys, did you have a good time?"
Kane, I think we need to have a discussion out of the main room.
Oh no. Anything you can say to me, you can say to my friends here at the bar. Anything at all. That's fine.
Well, first off, Robbie John did not have a good time. No good times to be had.
He pats your head, even though it's way taller than his. He reaches up to pat your head and goes, "Nobody likes a scaredy cat."
Please, sir, I must urge you. This is not something that should be said amongst
The-
common ears.
The only people in the bar are Nina and her friends and you guys.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, it's so he's pretty set on not moving.
Go ahead and tell the elf if you'd like. Make everyone panic.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of. So,
Robbie John's going to pointedly move away out of reach.
so
He goes, "Don't tell Nina. She's a scaredy cat too. She'll freak out." And Nina throws a bug at him and hits him. Son of a bitch.
all right. Well, so the fellow that you had us track down turns out wasn't actually a fellow at all. As we pursued him, he transformed into a red dragon wormling.
What? Do you even know what a dragon looks like? A red dragon. What kind of do a red dragon?
I've seen
he-
pictures.
Did he breathe fire at you?
As a matter of fact, he did.
Did
The
it have
red-
flappy?
The red dragon looked like me, except red with wings and could fly. We know what dragons look like.
Furthermore, we
the,
tracked.
the people at the bar kind of looking at each other as you keep talking. Any emotions for you to continue?
Furthermore, we tracked down his hideout, which was a cave dedicated to some cultist type of organization. And as we went through, we determined that there's some sort of a link to an Orcus, but more importantly, there was
When
a
you say
gi-
the word Orcus, the dwarf, the O'Malley, he spits his drink out and says, "Son of a bitch, say what?"
there was also a giant there, a real life, living, breathing, one-eyed giant.
What kind of giant? You hear the troll at the end of the bar say,
Rin, can you bring that jar over here, please?
"Gry's got the jar."
Or Gry,
He comes up and he goes, "Yeah, I get the. You mean the Cyclops eye?"
that would be the one.
So he reaches in and he's got a jar. It's on his hip, so he reaches up and holds the thing up. And Kane takes it and goes, "You guys got trophies, huh? You need a trophy room. This is gross as hell." And he passes it up and down the bar.
Now, what's even more troubling, sir, it would appear that these two factions are now working together as opposed to being on opposite sides of a great war. And I fear that
All-
great trouble is coming.
All jovial attitude, all celebrations, all drinking stops, and they kind of pause and consider, and they say, you're telling me the dragon and the giant, or you're saying they were working together. You found the giant while in the dragon.
We found the giant while investigating the dragon's hideout.
The old gnome says, well, son of a bitch. And he puts a hat on, hops off the bar stool, and he says, which way's the cat? I don't care. I'll find it. And he starts waddling out.
Have fun.
We burned the giant's body. We felt it was the best way to prevent panic and chaos stirring up amongst the villagers, because I'm not sure how they would react knowing that this kind lives. And as for the dragon, we didn't even get a chance to do anything with its body. It just disintegrated when we killed it.
When it disintegrated, did it leave anything behind?
Yeah, it left behind the symbol of the cult of Orcus.
Basil's gonna move forward and sort of like pull his cloak back to like show his symbol, be like this one, but more like fiery and dragony, if that makes sense.
As you're showing him, you suddenly feel a pointy against your side, and he goes, "What are you doing here with that symbol?"
I assure you that if I knew, I would tell you.
Bris is gonna step up behind Flippy Boy. Basil just kind of threatening, because no, you do not threaten my Flippy Boy.
Oh, Springwater has a dagger. Springwater has a dagger right to Flippy Boy's belly and says, "This
So
is
wait,
the
he's
cult
not
of Orcus."
Kane anymore?
Springwater has a dagger right against Basil's abdomen and says, "This is the symbol of the cult of Orcus. What are you guys doing here if you're cult members?"
He clearly does not remember, elf. Get your pointer away from my friend.
Hey man, put the fucking dagger down, please. He's not with them.
Okay, guys, I really appreciate this vote of confidence, but if we could not raise the threat level in the room with each word, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Why don't Rin, Bresinger, and Basil all give me perception check?
Okay.
Please roll high.
Rin rolled a 14.
Roll a 17.
I rolled a 7.
Bresinger, you're very focused on Springwater as he is threatening your flippy son. And
I have 2 sons now.
Necro son and Flippy son.
Necro boy.
Necro son. Oh boy. What an eclectic family.
Your adoption certificates will go through in the next week.
I'm gonna work on that actually. That's perfect. So Basil, Ren, you feel danger, but that's all. Basil, you see the troll at the end of the bar picking up 2 great swords. You see O'Malley picking up a shield and a mace. You see the wizard is standing at the door, turned around. Like all of those people that were described at the bar are slowly getting ready in case shit goes down. What do you say in your message, Fenilius? Or who do you say it to?
I said it.
Oh, you sent it to him?
Yes, I sent a message.
Okay, perfect. And I didn't see it, so I'm assuming you sent it to somebody else, to whoever. At that point in time, Gry's gonna go, there's a couple of us who, when we were younger, the cult tried to make us join, like me. Like I've got one of those, and so like, but we're not a part of the cult. Like we were just kids, man, and then we are fighting against them because we think they're douche nozzles too.
I have no recollection of my time with that group of people at all. My memories are slim as they are. There's really not much I have to go on other than this mark.
Springwater looks over your shoulder at Basha and goes, "Basha, are these good people?"
They're very good, Uncle.
So he slowly sits down and he puts his. He's like, "These are your friends."
Yes, friends.
So he'll kind of with one arm kind of reaches behind him. He does like he's patting down, like back off, and then he dusts your coat off, and he apologizes to you, Basil, and he goes, "I'm sorry, it's your symbol means a lot." And at that point in time, Nina's gonna stand up and she goes, "Listen, guilds used to mean a lot more when we were younger. You know, you guys know about the Dragon War. You know that people fought, you know the dragons fought, you know the giants fought, and we organized ourselves. Well, when we were younger, we were all part of a guild." And at that point in time, several of them pull down their shirts and show like high up on their shoulder, including Nina. Do you guys see that? Did something pop up for you?
Oh, hey, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this pops up, and you see this symbol appear on all of the people at the bar's shoulder. We were part of the Resistance Guild, is what we were called. It was a guild that was founded by Nina, and she kind of gathered us all in, and we fought the dragons. You know, a couple other guilds, and a couple other places fought giants and some dragons in other areas, but we spent a lot of our youth and killing dragons, and we lost friends, and we fought primarily against the symbol that you've got on the back of your neck. So I'm sorry I was a little paranoid about it.
Bris is gonna kind of step forward and square his shoulders and say, if you want to fight against anyone here in this guild, you should fight against me. My family and I were enslaved by the dragons and served them directly. We served this cult.
You said enslaved. Do you serve them now?
I do not serve them anymore, nor do I have any loyalty left to them.
Yeah, well, most slaves don't when their masters are taken away from them. You have nothing to fear, unless you decide to serve them again, and then we'll have a talk. For now, I'm sorry that you were a slave, and I'm happy to see that you're free now. So these guilds, they became pretty powerful, right? And there are a lot of things that went into it. We disbanded. The end of the war was won with a pen and a paper, not a death or a sword, not a spell, but we negotiated with the armies and they had to retreat. Part of the treaty, all the dragons and giants leave this continent. They go away. We're allowed to survive. We're no longer slaves. But the concession we had to give is the guilds were disbanded. So all the guilds just went away. We all went to spread out, and guild members were no longer allowed to associate with each other. Once the cult started to be active again, we decided to reach out and be friends. Nina made a guild. I don't know what she knows. I'm sorry, Nina's talking, I guess. She's like, I made a guild because of some rumors and some stuff I had seen with the cult. Once I saw the symbol of the cultists coming again, I knew that the dragons had broken their promise. And if they broke their end of the deal, well, there's no reason for us to stay weak by not using our end of the deal. So I'd hoped you guys would come together and be pretty adventurous and strong and help us figure this out. I don't know where it's going. I know you're probably going to fight a dragon, and I can tell you that's not fun. I lost my brother. I lost all of my children. I lost my husband. And I lost the people that I called my very best friend, except for the rest of these that you see here. We used to have about 100 people in our guild. Every one of them were important and dear to me, and only 2 of them died after the war. So if you guys are serious about defending the Veil, if you're serious about keeping that title and keeping this in as a base to fight that, then we should make this an official guild. What do you guys think about that?
I think we're going to need a new official tattoo, one that can cover up old scars, if you know what I mean.
Agreed.
Yeah,
You-
I know a guy.
It's funny, you hear you hear a little laughter, and Basil, give me a perception check.
Sure. 13.
Okay. Everybody else besides Basil. No, I'm kidding.
Oh god.
You hear
Dies.
no, not everybody dies. You're not the only left defender of the Veil. Told you the war stuff. YOLO.
The last defender.
The
No.
defender of the Veil, no longer defenders. The door to the humble beginning swings open, and Basil, you turn around, and you see a humbly dressed older person come through the door, almost ageless, walking, kind of hobbling in as he comes in. This person will look at Basil and kind of give a nod. Basil will freak out a little bit as this is his
Immediately
master.
bow, like halving myself in size.
Throws his hip out of place, bowing to this person.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm now 2 smaller Basils from the violence of the bow.
It's the greatest description of a bow that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
As this person comes in, they go, I guess they look right at Basil and goes, I guess they've talked about the guild and the tattoo stuff, huh?
He sort of goes to speak, but it's really just mumbling and a lot of
And for
nervousness.
they roll up a sleeve on their shirt, and for the first time they show you that they've got the same dragon tattoo as the other people.
He
and,
is silent still, but definitely you can see like gears clicking in his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Briss is
And,
gonna lean over and just be like, "Is this the man who taught you how to flip so good?"
Yeah, that's the original flipper.
Oh, he looks nice. You have good
That-
master. Good job.
Presenter, I would like to say you don't feel 100% comfortable saying his. You're not quite sure. It's like an anime character. There's always the one guy or gal in a show that you just don't know. You want to say it's a guy, but you maybe not. Like the voice is
They
kind of.
look really nice. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, is he the greater Basil?
And Nina
Great.
Nina stands up and hugs the sage, and says, "We were just talking about tattoos. How did you even? I haven't been able to find you in a decade." And you hear just a brief chuckle come out, and the person starts to set some tools on the bar, and he kind of waves and tells Basil to get some chairs and set him up in a row there. next to people.
Does
Um,
diligently.
and he pulls out an ink set, like an old school like Asian tattoo set, and it's the kind where you tap the tattoos, right? It's the really cool like fancy tattoos. And Nina goes, this is when I started talking about a guild, this was the guy who kind of, let's just say I used to be a lot angrier in life until I ran around with this inner peace hippie for a while. But if you guys are serious, it's a permanent tattoo that can't be removed. It becomes a part of you. I almost died once, and Nina pulls up. She's always worn shirts too. She pulls up hers, and you see half the tattoo. And you also notice for the first time that her arm, for a brief part in between her forearm and her bicep, looks like it's almost made of wood and plants, and it connects a fleshy shoulder, and then most of her bicep down to where her elbow would be is like wood and vines, and then it's a fleshy forearm, right? And the tattoo is ink on the shoulder, and then it turns into the vines. It looks like a black, like it's been burned into the vine. The tattoo has, and so they look at all of you individually and ask, "Do you want to go through with something like this? Is this what? Are you ready for something like this? Are you committed? Is this what you want to spend your life possibly on?"
That is certainly something that I would go for.
Then line up.
Can it pierce dragon scales?
Oh, I could. You hear from the wise old monk. I can pierce dragon souls.
Please don't.
Do you see?
Oh.
This is the tattoo that you
It's
guys
an
will receive on your
elephant!
shoulder. It is.
I thought it
An
was a
elephant.
nautilus.
Nope,
I
that's
can
an
see the-
elephant.
That's dope.
That is definitely an elephant. Wow, you caught
That's
that
dope
right
as
away.
hell.
All right, so I want to pause real quick. This is all out of character stuff. The dragon tattoo. If you take a look at it, can you guys still see it?
Yeah, I see
Boom,
that.
now you can see it. Look at that. Look at the. So Rin designed this for me and put it together, right? And if you look, he threw a nice little Easter egg in there. Can you guys, anybody see it? I'll give an inspiration point to anybody who points the Easter egg out.
D&D logo!
That is it. The dragon breathing the fire is the D&D logo and the N symbol. Ren did a great job with that. And because I asked him, I wanted something like a dragony tattoo for these Dragon Slayers Guild, which I would call it that if it wasn't such a ripoff on Fairy Tale. And this other tattoo is even cooler. This elephant head. I asked Mari if she would toss something together, and my instructions were something for the guild, something you think would be awesome for the. I gave her very little instructions. I want it to be a tattoo, kind of tribal, something for the guild, and catching. I think she nailed it just with this elephant head. She put it together. It was a really like rough sketch. The first one she showed me, I almost pooped my pants. It was so perfect. And then she brought these in. So
Yeah.
hands off to Mari.
That's a
Mari, Rin, you guys
reminder.
guys both have an inspiration to use for whatever you would like. Thank you so much. And this
Well,
this
dope.
is seriously beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, the elephant is so much a reminder of when we like saved those beasts and brought them to the Vale. Like, I really love it.
It really captures, I think, the heart of the guild.
You
It's
guys are
perfect.
so sweet.
That was my
It's perfect. It's so subtle.
Thanks, guys.
It's gorgeous.
So you
Yeah,
guys
great.
all have this tattoo. If you guys want to save the image somewhere for your reference, and then
It should
you
be
can.
saved in the handouts.
Oh, I've got it saved on my whatever. If we get to like 10,000 likes on Facebook, I'll get that as a tattoo. So I'm saying it right now. Once we hit that, I'll make the appointment and get that tattoo in my body.
Same here. I'll get it.
Also, same.
See?
What?
Oh, we
I
get
can get
matching guild
behind that.
tattoos.
So you
Yeah.
guys
totally
can pick,
should.
You guys can pick where you get the tattoo. I would strongly encourage those with the other. I mean, your characters can pick where they get the tattoo, and I would strongly encourage ones like Basil of Gry. Anybody with a tattoo with the markings from the old guild, the monk can actually remove that and put this in place, so he can kind of free you from your past and put this to represent the transition in life for you if you'd like. All right. So guys, you guys killed a cyclops and got a tattoo.
We're fucking balling.
Sorry, I know I pushed a little hard to get you back to town. You guys were getting really distracted by the empty cave you already explored.
And I adopted 2 people.
You
Yeah.
adopted 2 people. One is
you're gonna
really,
fight the
really
sage
angry.
for my custody in a fist fight.
I don't think the sage will fight. I think he'll just be like, all right.
What, Dad?
Be like, you can have them.
What? Dad?
I don't want him anyway.
Not like that. Yeah, fine.
Guess what, Basil? You're adopted.
You got Basil got
You're a
unadopted and redopted.
Yeah. How many times? has
Oh, I
somebody
didn't.
knocking
I
on
didn't
that
say that I adopted him.
He just gets passed around.
thing? Oh,
He's no longer a flippy
okay.
boy. He's the passing boy.
Yeah. I'm passing boy.
Pissy boy.
I'm a pass out boy.
Any questions about anything?
I believe last session you said something about possibly leveling up.
Yes, that was a great question. You guys are all level 7.
Fuck yeah!
You guys are actually
Bris just go
you
nuts
guys
with
are
the fireballs now.
you guys are actually level 7, and you've got an encounter under your belts towards level 8. You guys were level 7 at the Kobolds, but you weren't in a place to
Oh,
level
yeah.
up.
Sick.
So good job.
So we're doing a long rest at this point, yes?
Everybody's going to be, you're at home. You've got no pending missions right now. You've cleared out everything you know. Everybody gets a long rest. Just so you know, these experienced adventurers, they're going to take off. They're basically, we're here for a bit of a reunion and to kind of, it's a passing of the guard. But the other thing, and I'm not gonna role play this as much, but I'm gonna let you guys know. You've talked. They are planning on a couple of them are planning on going off and starting guilds in other places in the world. Now with the stuff coming back, the old guild members are really becoming more bold in the establishment of their guilds. It was like a big deal forming a guild. There's benefits from these tattoos that you guys are going to eventually get once you guild up enough. Like these tattoos are basically a magic item in the long run. You all do have -1 constitution point from the tattoo process until after you complete. I think I wrote down 4 long rests, so it's going to be a thing while that heals because it takes so much out of you. Not just the physical process, but this is more than just a marking on your body. Like the monk said, he can pierce a dragon's soul. So, also, this really sucked. Not one of you got through the process without yelping. It was painful.
I would like to roll for that. Thank you very much.
All right, if anybody wants to roll and they get a nat 20, they didn't yelp.
What are we rolling?
Just to not make noise when you're getting the tattoo. I said
No,
basically
what?
everybody. Oh, just a 20. There's no modifiers. It doesn't matter. If you don't get a natural 20, you yelped. Rabbi almost. If you got below a 10, you extra yelped.
Okay, if I roll in that one,
Poor Basha.
if I roll in that one, please don't say anything about it.
We will say all the things.
Everyone, please just say a prayer.
I am. I'm praying for that nat 1.
No, everybody, can we have a moment of silence?
We need the spirit bomb for Cass.
Please,
Everyone,
Lord of the
shut
Dice.
up!
Let Will Wheaton inherit her dice.
We believe in you.
You jinxed it, baby.
What
Oh
the
my God.
fuck kind of odds are those?
You jinxed it so hard!
1 in
Oh my
20.
God.
1 in 20 for a normal person. Apparently 20 out of 20 for you.
The only thing I can imagine happening is that Bris cries like a baby and then the toddler comes in and is hot
When,
as steel again.
Ren, can I make a request from you?
What?
Ren, when you make Bresinger's character, she needs to have a dice, a d20 in the picture that's on 1.
Just please put a nat 1 die just in the middle of the picture.
I will try to incorporate
Maybe a necklace or something.
that.
Yeah, a necklace. Oh, I should get a necklace.
A necklace of natural ones.
Send
Yeah,
me a
it
private
needs to
message
be-
so I don't forget it.
I will send that to you.
It needs to
Bresinger,
be a 20-sided die with all ones.
so as everybody's going to bed, Bresinger's just in like white girl wasted tears. Just sobbing. Gry's actually patting you back and
Pat my
going, "It's
dad
okay,
on my
Dad. You'll be
shoulder.
fine."
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
gonna be
me
okay,
too.
Dad.
Me and Craig just gonna be like, Dad, it's gonna be okay. I just like slam my hand down on the bar like more shots.
Dad, it's gonna be okay.
Numb the pain.
That's great. You're getting at least your Flippy Boy and Necro Boy are like comforting you, Pops.
I hate my life.
Hate your life. You are the best. Like 3 of my favorite stories are from you rolling 1.
And that's all 3 times I've rolled a 1, Ricky.
I earned that. For those who are listening, we just flipped each other off in a lot of creative ways.
I'd also like to point out that almost every time Ricky says, for those that are listening, that part gets completely cut out of the audio.
Which is fine. That's fine.
Sometimes he just... Oh god.
Yes, vindication.
Is it vindication?
God.
How's those potatoes tasting?
They taste
Vindication.
wonderful. They're seasoned with the
potatoes right now
tears
are
of
vodka.
sad toddlers.
Oh, you realize now that was O'Malley, the epic cleric's potato, right?
Oh fuck! I hope it's not.
Yeah,
That's how it-
that's the
okay,
potato
so-
farmers. They're
Is that
clerics.
his sad toddler?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh fuck!
Well, why is
I
he going
wanted to
such a
point-
sad toddler?
I was so excited that you
Rin.
tried to steal from that epic character. Like, there are three
Joe,
people
use
in
your
the
other
town.
keyboard.
There are 3 people in the town that you shouldn't steal from,
I was
and you chose one of them to steal from poorly.
You chose poorly.
You rolled so bad you almost gave them extra potatoes.
Damn it! No, not my snacks.
All right. Okay, so you guys have all had a few days to kind of decompress. It's been a couple days since the cave. You've turned the quest in. You each received 150 gold for turning the quest in. Kane went ahead and took care of paying the guild and the town for you, so you didn't have to do any of that. So everybody gets a straight 150. Congratulations. Everybody's had side projects going on. Some of you guys have talked about it. Your Flippy boy has been spending a lot of time with water. Ren, you have no idea what the hell he's been doing. He's been in and out all over the place. You guys have hardly seen a lick of Gry. He's just been gone. Breck has actually been handling recruitment and guild paperwork, and he's really thrown himself into the administrative role of this guild, which is weird because he kind of bosses you guys around sometimes. Not like in a super bossy way, but like if there was an urgent quest that needed you, he would just walk up and be like, "Hey, get it done!" Right? Like that's his thing now. Is he manages guild business. Besides that kind of stuff, is there anything you guys would have want to have been doing in this like 3 days of not having important guild quests to do?
Roland's getting the swimming pool ready.
You should. I recommend doing a nice beach, sand beach border, at least on one side of it.
Sounds like we're getting our beach episode, guys.
Still want a pond.
Yeah, just one side of the pond instead of just going into a straight drip. Kind of gradually goes down to the depth, and that is sandy. You know what I mean? That'll make the ladies in the guild who are screaming for a beach episode happy. Do you know I looked up how many deadly encounters you could have come out of a pond? And there's a lot. Oh my gosh, there's a lot.
Oh, great, because that's what we want at our beach episode. Is a
We
deadly
definitely don't.
encounter.
We don't want a relaxing beach episode. Oh no. We want monsters. Who has ever
Did you see
said
the
that
list
in the
of traps?
history of ever?
Did you see the list of traps that I made? And Basil, I should have covered that one up a little bit better, but yes, the word time was in there.
How
Oh,
to
wow.
murder Brissinger.
Yeah, traps to murder Bresinger. Time.
Oh, right,
You just
yeah.
gotta wait. They'll take care of it themselves.
What do you mean? All you gotta do is leave out some snacks and like a trap. And
Poison.
then boom.
Poison snacks. Just put a little Twinkie under a box with a pole that you can clearly see with a string tied to it. And Bresinger will still go under the box to get the Twinkie and have the box fall on them.
Yeah.
Ah,
Make sure
Twinkie.
there's a sign pointing to it that has been, written in toddlerish handwriting.
And the box is from Acme. The coyote will finally get Bresinger.
It would not. It would be a very short episode of a series in which the coyote is trying to trap Brissinger.
Hold on, I've got to write down Druid who uses the form coyote. Because that seems like it's going to be fun later.
Wait, Ricky, why are you sending me a message telling me to multi-class into a druid? What?
Shh.
Oh, right, of course. I can never betray my father.
I just didn't want to feel left out, so I wanted to show you guys that I can draw almost as good as Mari and Rin. Huh? That looks like it could be a toddler's motorcycle gang tattoo.
Is that the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell?
No,
That
it's the
is exactly-
Friday the haunted house of the cell.
Oh.
I hate you.
I
October.
love that.
Yeah, it's the Fridochondria. It's the haunted house. It's
And that
October,
explains a
guys.
lot about you. Shocktober. Let's do it. All right. Okay, so you guys have been back relaxing. Is like I asked, nobody answered. Has anybody been doing anything specific other than kind of what I want? I know Finilius, you've got your stuff you're working on, that stuff, and then anybody else got any stuff?
I
Am I-
also have books that I'm translating.
Mm-hmm. So you have no time for anything between those two things.
Correct.
You're busy, so that's it for you. Why don't you go ahead and give me an intelligence check with advantage? What's your background? Are you a scholar?
Yes.
With advantage because you're a scholar, and we'll see if you made some progress on translating those books.
For translating, before I do translating, I would also cast the ritual spell Comprehend Languages, so I don't make mistakes.
Okay, you're still gonna roll for progress though. You just won't screw anything up unless you roll a 1.
Close enough. 12 intelligence.
Perfect. All right, you've made progress. You've completed like one of the smaller, easier books, and you've made a good progress through another one. So you're making progress. You're getting there. Good job, buddy. You're just starting out. You're getting your feet under you on there.
Yeah.
Anybody else? What are you guys rolling? You're working on the pond. All right. Basha, you doing anything? You playing? I know you're playing with your fox.
Well, am I done with is my fox trained yet? Am I capable of moving on into other?
Yes, your fox is trained, but your fox will not be able to go with you on adventures until next session. Okay.
Okay.
That is 95% me not having your fox icon and character sheet ready to go.
That's fine.
For complete transparency. So we'll just say that you did your stuff finishing that up, okay? And then she got finished, and she'll be ready to go next time. And just send me in Discord, send me that token icon, and then I'll use that as a token for it.
It might be a hot while, so I'll probably find a temporary one for.
I can slap, so I'll find something temporary. I'll put something to. But whenever you get ready to, let's see it. Rabbi Jan, what have you been doing? I like point at my camera when I'm Rabbi Jan, young lady.
I believe Rabbi
can
Jan
fly.
was probably pretty busy putting together that service, even though it didn't really entail a whole lot. But yeah.
Bresinger, what have you been doing?
I've been intermittently napping, snacking, and bothering Roland while he's been out working at the pond because I'm excited.
Okay, perfect. Now I want to take a brief moment and talk about something. It's a mechanic in my game that I've kind of played with before, but I've actually ramped up for this campaign. It's been in effect since the very first episode or the very first adventure where you guys were all woke up trapped by the orcs. This has been something that's always existed. And it's kind of a background thing. There's no way you guys can really see it unless you come over and stare at my notes, which Rick will have the opportunity. No, he won't. Maybe. And what this is I actually track reputation with a couple of NPCs that I care about. Right, and so you can assume every named person in the guild has a bit of reputation, and you can influence them to either like you and the guild more, or to be isolated and pushed away. Right, and kind of how you interact will affect that. The town has a reputation with each of you. Ren has put a lot of work into it. It's almost annoying for you guys when you see Ren walk around town. A lot of the orcs and the farmers and all that. He's like the quarterback for your high school football team. Everybody, hey, waves, snaps. He gets finger guns a lot, all sorts of stuff. Like, people like it. Some of you guys have chosen to influence the guild or the town in certain ways. And so if you're interested in affecting the town, if you have an idea or a goal for the town, this is the way to do it. So Roland has been working on a sanctuary, and he's kind of been helping and he's been kind of a positive effect on the farming community, on the wildlife and stuff like that. He briefly mentioned kind of checking out the farmers a long time ago, and so I've assumed he's just always been willing to help out farmers if they came up with a quest or I need help or advice. Hey, my crop's not growing that good. What's going on? Oh, you got weevils. Like, he's that guy. Ren has been pouring a ton of money into the defenses. There's a fence that circles the entire town, a very sturdy wooden fence that he pretty well got started and funded. He's also helped supply arms to the orcs that shored up, your defenders and stuff like that. He not only paid for that, but he's been training in blacksmithing. And a lot of his work he's been doing has gone to make sure that the horses are shoed, the arrowheads are made, and he's been doing stuff like that. That's why he's so popular, is he's got a very visible effect. The farmers love Roland. They like having him around. Mari's been playing with her fox, right? And Fenilius doesn't talk to anybody. But I was wondering at this point in time, if you guys would like to think for a second, if there's some area of the town that you would love to jump in, some sort of thing that you would like to affect, that you think your character would be focused on as members of this town, what is it, and how would you like to kind of jump into that?
Can I help with like any bakeries and restaurants?
Can you cook?
I
Can you
can-
bakery?
I can
Wait.
bakery.
He's a
He's the
potato
motherfucking
thief.
stove.
He's not going to be allowed in any food facilities.
Shut up. As Basil said, I am a stove. I can fucking bake bread.
Everybody, it's the angry dragon. Shut the doors. Hello, I'm here for snacks. We're not here. We're not.
Then what was noise? I am only here for snacks. I want to help. Please let me help.
Okay. So how are you gonna help with bakery?
Just kind of help out. Like, I can clean. I can, like Basil said, I am a stove. I can speed up cooking stuff.
Okay.
And
Alright, so you're gonna spend your time literally helping. You're gonna go to the bakery and help the bakery.
I'm literally just gonna do what I did all through high school, which is help out at a local cafe.
And that's why D&D is great, so that you can relive your glory years.
My glory years when I was young and had okay skin.
Oh gosh. Okay. Your scales look fantastic. All right.
Mhm.
What
Uh,
about anybody else? Have anything they? And you don't have to do anything. There's no requirement for your character to be actively doing that.
I would like to, but I don't have any ideas yet.
Who's your deity?
Who's your
I
daddy?
don't know.
shoot.
I mean, the question still stands. You know,
Yeah, it works either
I'm gonna
way,
need y'all to
really.
roll
just
for
have that
perception.
relationship with the god.
All right.
Mal, you should work out with like the jewelers and stuff since you like shinies.
I
Mal,
love
you
it.
probably should not work with the jewelers. That seems like that's gonna go bad.
I shouldn't work at a restaurant, so
Mal, if you want the standard like 5e gods and goddesses are out there, spend some time sometime and figure out who it is. Or if there's like a fantasy god that you would like. I just, as a good character, I would want your god to be mostly good at least. Or if you want to create one, yeah, if you want to create, yeah, no Cthulhu. Well, maybe. If you want to create one, like a cat person god who likes shinies and healing people, you can spend some time coming up with that lore.
What's the? Is there an Egyptian cat god?
yeah,
I'm sure there is.
Bast.
Spend some.
There
Bast
you
is not a good. Bast is not a good god. Is Bast?
Bast is fine.
I said good. I did not say fine.
She's fine. Bast is fine.
She fine.
So take.
Wink.
So
Yeah, I can
so
look into it.
Bast is great. Do you have something in your eye? No, Bast is just fine. Like you mean good? Yeah, fine. All right, so you can take a look at that, and then if you wanted to like help with wounds, like do first aid, help the old people with broken backs, like get back to work, like you could be doing. That's a. You don't have to. You can also just work at the jewelry store, which is also something
Sounds
you would
like
probably love to do.
something Rabbi John might do. Now I have options and decisions.
You've got a lot of options. It's like I said, nothing you have to do now. Basil, what would you do? Do you have anything that you would want to do, or no? And no's a great answer.
Basil's pretty anxious a lot of the time, especially with new people. So
So you're gonna be like recruiting people to the guild. You're gonna be out shaking hands and kissing babies.
yeah, definitely. Just out of fear that he'll get reprimanded if he doesn't. No.
No.
I remember when he was training that one time, there was a crowd of people watching. So maybe if people came up to him and asked him for some like pointers and stuff, he'd be willing to like do stuff like that. But he probably wouldn't get very actively involved. I mean, he's like, if he sees that people need help with something, you know, if it's like an old lady crossing the street. I know there's no cars, but you know, my example, my terrible D&D example, you know, an old lady's cross the streets and there's just dragons flying across the road. You gotta help them across the street, you know, stuff like that.
I
But
can help with that. Like I
can't imagine you would take a very
get
active role.
car and just like have the horse ride furiously, and then you can save the old lady if you want.
You can what you can do is you can offer lucky crickets to everyone.
Oh god.
Lucky what?
From Mulan, when Grandma
So like,
takes Lucky Cricket and then just walks out into the shut up, just walks out
Alright.
to the road.
so that's amazing. Another example is Brack actually has been doing the puppet shows with kids the entire time he's been in town. So Brack's popular only amongst children and people with children because they see how happy the puppet shows make up. And Basha has a soft spot because she was an actress in probably the greatest puppet show that he's ever done.
Yeah, I'm lit.
Also, pretty unknown fact, Basha was also once a child, so this really does apply to her a lot.
Yeah, yes.
She is a big Breck fan.
Yeah. Another fun fact: Fenilius was never actually a child. He was born an anxious old man, just right from the bat.
That might be
Fenilius
I
ages
remember.
backwards.
He was born and he was like, I did not enjoy this experience at all.
It is awful. I mean, no wonder he doesn't get a. No wonder he's really
He was
awkward around
born and
women
then
if he was
immediately
born
got.
fully like aware.
He just started
Which
getting
is-
roasted by his mom.
Yeah, it feels bad. Rip Finn. I still miss him. I can still
Rip
hear his
Finn.
voice.
He's still alive.
No.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
no,
he's alive.
No.
no.
Okay, so Ren, are you still doing the same stuff? Or are you doing anything different? Did you hear what I was talking about with influencing the town and stuff like that?
I send you a message, a private message on Discord, so you can
In
read
Discord?
that later. For them right now. You'll see.
Yep. Okay, so go ahead and real quick, without telling anybody why you're doing it, make an intelligence check and a persuasion check both.
Who?
What was that?
Ren, give me a persuasion and an intelligence check, and it's because of a secret. Oh, fine. I'll message you in a minute, jerk.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to train that persuasion though.
Fenilius, explain to me what would you like?
Fenilius would try to find out if there's anything that passes as a library, and if there is, he would spend some time there. And if there's not, he would inquire if there's a location that might work for one and try to set one up.
Okay, Rin, your answer on both of those are talk to Springwater.
I will go check that out.
He's out of town. He's expected back in a little bit. So, Fenilius, there is no library in the town. And if you would like to build a library, you can. How big of a library are you trying to build?
That would depend on what there is available. I like libraries. I would make as big a one as I can.
So you have a couple of options. You can build one at relatively no cost. At no cost, if you look at the map of the town, you could put a building roughly the size of the house to the right there for pretty much no cost. But if you would like to incur a cost, there are some of these lands right up here to which you could build a much bigger building, probably 3 squares on top of 3 squares there, right? Pretty much all of that. You could even say a little more to the left if you would like, depending on how much cost you would like to invest into it.
Right now, the 150 gold that Fenilius got from the last mission is the only gold that he's ever gotten. So probably not much of a cost right now.
You're trying to keep the costs down.
Yes, for now. Perhaps Fenilius will just do some inquiring and some planning, and then maybe go talk to his mother and see if she would like to invest in a library.
Okay, didn't see that coming. Don't forget, right now Roland is kind of a currency keeper. So if you're inquiring, I'm sure at some point in time Roland would hear you were looking at spending money, and he might offer to let you know that you have money in that kind of fund, and it might even tell you how much money you have.
Yeah, we've got the guild fund.
All right, that's something that I might broach later.
Okay. All right, so then really, at this point in time, especially with the library, is it going to be your library or is it going to be Centervale's library?
Oh, it's Centervale's library.
Then there's not going to be any cost for the land. You might have to pay for the labor to clear the trees, and I would have to look up what that might cost. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my mind. Oh my gosh, I gotta stop saying that. I can't.
Hey, if you need someone to kick trees, man, I can kick trees if you want.
Hey now.
I mean, respect trees is what I said.
Nobody needs help, or Fenilius never needs help when it's setting fires
Let's
to
get help
trees.
that controlled burn.
No.
Hey, you know what I say? I say we set it all on fire and let the gods figure it out. All right,
Let the gods figure out who to punish first.
the gods and or the druids.
Oh no.
So besides that, anybody else doing anything that I need to... Oh wait, Basha, what are you doing? Are you doing anything?
Yeah. Basha, once finished with like Hiri stuff or in between Hiri stuff, would like want to make the town more disabled friendly. Making sure like every like area got like some nice hot ramps or access to buildings and whatnot.
Look at that. That's something only a princess would think about. Somebody used to that kind of
A very
governmental work.
How dare you?
Fenilius is going to be the cost of your library is going to go up because you got to make sure you have handy-capable ramps.
Yeah, you do. Otherwise, I'm coming after you.
Great.
Fucking OSHA?
Fenilius, this is not up to code. All right, this is not going to fly.
As your princess, I'm gonna have to tell you this isn't fucking acceptable.
I demand this whole building to be demolished and redone to my standards.
Yeah, Basha is pretty much like Bean in Disenchanted on Netflix. That's what you make me think of. That's what I see when she
That's
asks
accurate.
for a call.
How dare
That's
you.
entirely accurate.
What do you mean? Basha does not drink a bunch and like have sex with a bunch of people. That's not Basha's character. How dare you?
Well, I mean, not that part, but the drink a lot. I mean, yes, you do drink a lot sometimes.
No, What? Excuse me?
I love tea.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, hot tea.
What does that mean?
All right, so
Thank you for listening to Defenders of the Veil. You can follow the cast on Facebook at Defenders of the Veil or on Twitter at Defenders Veil. If you're a fan of the show, why not head over to Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or your pod-catching app of choice to subscribe and leave us a rating and review. Be sure to tune in next week for more shenanigans from the Vale. Until then, Guildies, farewell.